10 years ago, Gibraltar suffered its second maritime disaster in just over 1 year, as a storm which battered the rock caused the bulk carrier Fedra to smash against the rocks behind me here in Europa Point, causing the vessel to split in two and an ensuing oil spill. Emergency services from both Gibraltar and across the border worked together to rescue the crew on board. On the 10th of October 2008, gale force winds reaching 109 kilometers an hour battered the rock, and during that Friday afternoon we thought we had seen the worst, with significant damage in town and one person injured due to a fallen tree. The Westview Park promenade was destroyed, and efforts were made throughout the day and night to ensure the adjacent road wasn't washed away too. 10 years later, the promenade has since been rebuilt and is more protected from the elements. But the biggest story of the day was the rescue of over 30 crew members from the MV Fedra as the bulk carrier smashed against Europa Point. A major rescue operation saw both local and Spanish officials work together to save lives. And when the storm settled, the following day, the extent of the damage became clear. So what are the lessons learned from this disaster?
The lessons learned were basically we needed to review all our internal procedures. The recommendation on the report was very, very specific, and one of the things we had to do was finalize the installment of the VTS equipment that we had at the time. Government did a large investment after the incident, and we managed to resolve any minor issues that we had at the time, like radar feed and AIS and things like that, playback recordings. Those were resolved very soon after the incident. The proof of that is that today we have a new updated VTS system in the new building, which is an upgrade to the one we had. So that was one of the main lessons learned that we had to put in place. The second lesson I would say is the internal procedures. We reviewed all of them, and as a result of the Fedra incident, because of the negligence of the captain of the vessel at the time, we had to ensure that never happened again. So obviously all our internal procedures, operating procedures, had to be reviewed and had to be tested to ensure that we mitigate any potential incident in the future. I mean, accidents will happen, there's no question about that. It's the way you try and mitigate and put measures in place to try and minimize those accidents as much as possible. And today I'm very happy to say that we are in a good place to ensure that any vessels calling at Gibraltar go through the right procedure, are asked the pertinent questions to ensure that captains understand that they need to keep the Gibraltar Port Authorities informed of any situation that they have on board throughout their stay in Gibraltar.
3 months after running aground at Europa Point, the Fedra was removed from the site and safely towed to the Camel-led shipyard, where it was broken up for scrap.
I am happy, I'm satisfied with the way we handled it. At the time, obviously, the then captain of the port engaged a salvage company that were employed for a number of months in Gibraltar, and we were able to dispose of the vessel in a safe manner. A very professional outfit came over to Gibraltar, and they managed to took the whole superstructure section, the stern of the vessel, which housed the engine and the accommodation quarter. They took that in a whole piece, took it into Gibraltar and managed to dispose of it there, and the vessel was sold out for scrap. The bow section took a little bit longer to dispose of. We managed to refloat the bow section and tow the section to an area where it could actually be cut into pieces and again sold to scrap by the salvage company.
2018 saw a stormy start to spring, and the port put its adverse weather procedure in place to inform vessels in BGTW of the adverse weather conditions and what actions they should take.